Hi, I'm Camille Kirksey, the founder of World Homeschoolers Day, the only holiday that celebrates homeschoolers worldwide. This year, the holiday offers free events and giveaways brought to you by our generous sponsors, one of whom you're going to meet right now. I'd like to introduce you to Kelly from 90 Minute School Day, who's here to share with us today. Kelly, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Camille. I'm thrilled to be here.
So, Kelly, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do at 90 Minute School Day?
Sure. So my name's Kelly Edwards, and I'm the creator of the 90-Minute School Day. I'm a homeschooling mom. We've been homeschooling now for 8 years. I have 3 children. They are 15, 8, and 5. And what the 90-Minute School Day does is it helps parents frame out homeschooling in a way that supports the learner naturally, but is also plannable for the parent, especially if you're a working parent like me and you.
Awesome. What's your favorite product or service that you offer?
My favorite is the live classes that I do in group coaching. I just love that for the connection. I'm an extrovert. It's just what fills me up. So I enjoy that the most.
Love that. What do you love the most about serving the homeschooling community?
Serving the homeschooling community, I feel like, is super valuable because it's not only serving the parents, but it's the children, and this is generational. And I just feel so strongly about alternative ways to educate, and homeschooling is a really good one. It can be inexpensive. You can create it and craft it just to your child. And I just think that that's a wonderful thing to do. So.
What advice would you give homeschoolers looking for your type of services? And maybe you can tell us a little bit about what all you offer.
Sure. So I offer a couple different things depending on what the parent is looking for. The number one, sort of my flagship offer, is the 90-Minute School Day course. And this is a self-paced course that's a little over 3 hours that walks the homeschooling parent through deschooling, through preparing the environments. It's not just the physical environment, it's like the mental, the time environments, all of these environments. And then it's into actually how the parent can frame out the 90-minute school day as kind of a forward action plan. And then for all those days that don't go according to plan, a reverse plan. And so that's what that course does. My live classes pull off of that course, and those include live Q&As and the group coaching aspect of it. I also do one-on-one coaching if that's what the parent prefers, not being in a group and just wants that one-on-one coaching. And then the last thing I offer are my circuits. And those are our guided curriculum or unit studies. And there's circuits on world cultures, so kind of the origins of human civilization, and then also some nature studies. So those roll out periodically. So that's what we kind of offer, just different bite-sized pieces for homeschooling.
So, what kind of advice would you offer homeschoolers who are looking for coaching, or what are some things they should look for when it comes to different kind of unit studies and group coaching and things like that? Because that's a little bit different than what you normally see homeschoolers talking about.
Sure. So for me, and I don't know how you were, but like I did the whole box curriculum and it became my master. And so I don't want to encourage that. There's nothing wrong with box curriculum, buying curriculum, wherever you find it, but it needs to be adaptable to your child. And if your child is giving you refusal or you guys are getting into conflict, then you need to reevaluate what that curriculum is. And then we also just don't want to keep buying curriculum that doesn't work. And so what I would recommend is using a sample. You know your child. If you know that your child is a wiggle worm and you're trying to want to put them at a desk, that's probably not a good idea. That's where coaching can really come in, because sitting down with a more experienced homeschooler is going to have more facilities. And one of the things I really enjoy is just resourcing the parent with what has worked for me, but also what has worked for my other clients. And then I do a lot of reading because this is my full-time job. And so I have a lot of other resources that I've read about, I've heard about, I've learned of, that I can connect that parent with. Did that answer your
Absolutely.
question, or did I kind of go off?
No, that's perfect because it's exactly what, like, the approach that I have taken and what I recommend too. Because it's one thing to say as a coach, this is what I've done, but there's
Mhm.
another to say, okay, here are some other options.
Right.
Um, and I think that's important because a lot of new homeschoolers or more experienced homeschoolers can get information from a lot of different places just based on what other people have, said. But those people don't know they don't know them, they don't know their kids. And so coaches, that's part of what we do. We get to know the mom or the parent or whoever is doing it as well as their kids, so we can actually make personalized recommendations. And yeah, so that kind of advice of what to look for will lead you maybe not just to coaching but to some type of more personalized, unique approach to their type of homeschooling. And I think
Right.
that's very, very
Yeah,
important.
and you have to know your kids, and that's one of the parts of deschooling is like, don't just, if you've just left the school system and you're homeschooling for the very first time, like don't get, I know everyone's excited, but like take some time to just kind of get in that flow. And then, if you're evaluating a homeschool coach, get to know them in the DMs. If you're on Instagram, email them. These are real people, and you want to make sure it's a good fit because working, and I'm very honest, if we've gotten to know each other, and that's why I do free consultations, to just see if this is going to be a good fit, or maybe it might not be a good fit. And so, we want to have that good fit, and any coach is going to encourage you to get to know them and their practices first.
Absolutely. That's what we do. We want to make sure that we're serving our clients the best way possible. What are your top three ways that your company helps homeschoolers?
The top three ways.
Mhm.
Okay, that's a really good question. I would say the very first way that the 90-minute school day serves homeschoolers is by creating community. And so, I host alongside with Robin Robertson the How to Be an Awesome Homeschooler Summit. And so that's just providing that free to the community of just exposure to experts in this area, and also to engage with other homeschoolers. But then the other thing I really think that the 90-minute school day does a good job at is showing parents how to work alongside their biological rhythms and in succinct time periods where they can be really intentional with their kids, and then set their kids up for success the rest of the day, because we are around, but we don't need to be intensively with our kids all day long. We're going to burn ourselves out, burn them out. It's not a good idea.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's very important to consider the whole day and the rhythm of things and not just the schedule and the subjects. So,
Right.
absolutely. Share something that you don't think most homeschoolers know about the 90-minute school day.
What most homeschoolers don't know about the 90-minute school day is it's for the parent.
Mm,
A lot of people think like, okay, I click on a timer and I'm like, okay, math's over, now we're heading on to geography. First of all, we don't approach it subjects wise, but it's really for the parent. Kids learn all day long. And this is for the parent to figure out, okay, I've got a 90-minute slot, or I have maybe some 10-minute slots throughout my day or 20-minute slots throughout my day to just be with. I mean, that's all you have to be, is just be with and be present with your child. Your child is going to do a lot of the question asking, and that's how you know you have a good learner right there.
absolutely. I totally agree. Why does having diverse and inclusive products and services matter?
Oh, that matters because we need to widen our own worldview as parents, right? We all have blind spots. And so we want to be continuing our own education, and then we want to expose our children to different ideas. And so we have our own family culture and values, but that doesn't mean that we don't need to learn about the cultures and values of other families, of other countries, of other demographics. And by doing that, we find that what we really have is a lot more in common. And you see all of those connections being made when you study something that increases dialogue, it increases curiosity. And so we don't need to have a fearful approach where we need to be polarizing things. We need to have like an abundance approach and just give thanks for all of the diversity that we have in the world, like every level. So I think it's super important.
Absolutely. I totally agree, of course. What inspires you to do what you do?
What inspires me, I think, is I'm offering what I wish I'd had. And I just floundered for the first couple of years homeschooling, and I really just struggled. And now that I look back and I've worked with all kinds of different people, I've been able to, one of my strengths is to be able to see patterns and to be able to systemize things. And so I'm wanting to reach my hand behind me and say, hey, if this is you, if you're struggling like I was struggling, you can skip the line. Like, let's get together. Let's make some magic here. Let's skip this line and get you ahead where you're not so burnt out and just in broken relationship because you're kind of you're working so hard at all the right things and it's just not working. And we've all done it. I mean, like, I surely am not alone.
Oh, that's the standard. And if otherwise, that's amazing. But I would say that's the standard to flounder. So yeah, that's wonderful. What can people expect from 90-minute school day next?
Well, I have these live classes that are in January, May, and October. So depending on when you're listening to this, just head to my website, join the wait list. So you're the first to know when they open up, because these group classes, I do keep them small so that we can get to know each other and people feel safe enough to ask the questions, because they all include a Q&A, which is super helpful. Sometimes when I'm attending classes or trainings, that Q&A part is just as valuable or more valuable than the actual presentation, because of the excellent question that someone else asked that I heard the answer to. And then I'm like, wait, I've got a question now. And so that's what we've rolled out this year. And I'm just super excited about it, just having those seasonal sessions.
Lovely. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience?
Well, I just love what you're doing, Camille. And I think it's so wonderful to just get the word out. Having a day to celebrate, I found out about it the first year, and our nature group just had cupcakes and everybody loved it. The kids felt so special and validated. And it's at a perfect time of year where, like, the kids who are in school are having field days and parties, and here we get to celebrate with our kids. So I just want to thank you. I want to thank everyone else who's supporting this movement. And like, we need to get the word out so that every homeschooler knows that the first Friday in June is a day to celebrate what we're doing in our homes and as a community at large, and just awareness. It's wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being part of it since day one. So where can people find you online?
You can find me at 90minuteschoolday.com. And then I hang out on Instagram at 90minuteschoolday. And I'm also speaking regularly on Clubhouse, and my handle there, they limited characters. So it's 90min school day. And that's really where you can find me best. So my website, Instagram, and Clubhouse.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Kelly, for sharing with us today and for being a 2023 World Homeschoolers Day sponsor.
Thank you for having me, Camille.